What's cracking, guys? Omar Isaf here, back with another video. In this video today, I'm talking about increasing metabolism. The only real way to do that. Els has given me a timer. My cameraman, he said, film this video in 5 minutes or less, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. Otherwise, I'm fired. I don't know what that means, but I'll be fired. Let's talk about it for a second. So what is your metabolism? Your metabolism is comprised of 3 different components. The first one would be your BMR, basal metabolic rate. That's essentially the amount of calories your body would need if you're just lying around doing absolutely nothing. It comprises roughly 70% of your total calories. For me, as an example, being about 170 some pounds at around 5'10", I think it's 2,100 calories is what I need to eat to maintain my current body weight. So that's your BMR. It comprises the most, it's the single biggest factor. Number 2. We want to talk about TEPA, thermic effect of physical activity. That's doing stuff like training, fidgeting, moving around, standing, walking, talking. Basically, any movement you do influences your TEPA. The biggest influence for most people out there will be your training. The more you train, the more calories you burn, the more you expend, the more active you are. So that's probably our biggest factor that we have going for us, our TEPA. Lastly, you have the thermic effect of feeding, which means that when you consume calories, when you eat food, your body has to break it down, and that requires calories. Interesting factoid, protein actually, from a metabolic standpoint, takes the most amount of calories in order to break down. So it's a little bit more complex, protein versus carbohydrates or fat. So it takes a little bit longer in order to break down. It costs a few more calories. That's probably why you'll see that common recommendation amongst other reasons that when you're cutting, increasing your protein is not a bad idea at all. Those are the 3 big factors. Now, how can we influence this? You see online, you see websites talking about, 20 tips or 15 tips, 20 surefire ways to boost your metabolism. And they'll say things like, guess what? Drink a lot of water. And that's actually not the case where they say drink a lot of water, it's gonna help improve your metabolism somehow. That's not true at all. What that's going to do, it's gonna limit how much food you want to consume. It's gonna lower how much you feel the need in order to eat food. That's not the same thing as boosting your metabolism, increasing the amount of calories your body needs in a day. The only 3 real ways that you can do it, the first one would be increasing your thermic effect of physical activity. This means doing more. I'm not telling you, you probably have a busy life, you probably have a set schedule, you're social, you go to work, you go to school, you got things going on. So training more isn't really a viable option. Neither is picking up a new sport. Like, I'm not telling you to pick up a new sport like football or knitting. What I am telling you to do is to walk more. Walking is probably the easiest thing that most people can do. Why? Well, it's not detrimental to your training. It won't have a negative influence. If anything, it will actually be positive. How? Well, when you get that DOMS, when you get that soreness the next day, basically what's going on, your body needs to move, and walking around can certainly help with that. So if you do leg day the next day, walking can be something very good for you, but you're probably not walking enough. Most of us are too sedentary. We're just lying around doing nothing, maybe playing a whole lot of World of Warcraft, who knows? But what you want to do is download an app, a pedometer, or you could buy a pedometer, but it's free to get on your app, and measure how many steps you take in a day. You should be aiming for around 8,000 to 10,000. Most of you out there, maybe leave a comment below, are probably getting more like 2,000 to 3,000. If you increase it to 8,000 to 10,000, however, you'll need to consume several hundred more calories, probably 300 to 400 more calories. You know what that equals for you? Another slice of pizza. So, thermic effect of physical activity is something that you can influence. Walking is the easiest way. Boom. 2, I want to talk, oh my God, I got a minute and 20 seconds. I want to talk about building muscle, the role of building muscle when it comes to your metabolism. Building muscle can influence your BMR, your basal metabolic rate. It's not as much as most people would estimate it to be. I heard before calculations like 10 pounds equals 1,000 more calories. That's not the case at all. To give you some anecdotal evidence or just my own personal experience, increasing my muscle mass by about 30 pounds from when I started lifting has shifted up the amount of calories I need to consume in a day by a couple hundred. Now, that doesn't sound significant, but you combine that with walking more, and that will increase the amount of calories your body needs to consume. Increasing your muscle mass will increase your basal metabolic rate, will increase your metabolism. Lastly, the last thing I want to talk about, 35 seconds, is caffeine, thermogenics. I don't want to talk about ephedrine because it's not legal in some countries, but caffeine is a stimulant. If you consume every 2 to 3 hours around 100 milligrams, so that's probably 500 to 600 milligrams of caffeine in a day, it can influence positively your calories that you need to consume by roughly 70 calories, increase your metabolism by 70 calories. However, that is too much caffeine. Don't stick to that. Just stick to trying to build more muscle and also walking more. That's the best thing that you could do. I got 10 seconds. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. This has been all about how to increase your metabolism, breaking down all that bro science and telling you the truth. If you like the video, make sure to like the damn video. Else, how many likes should we get?
As many steps as I need. 10,000.
10,000. Okay, that sounds more feasible. 10,000 likes, otherwise Else is fired. And I'll be seeing all you guys, my rascals, in that next video. Peace.